How's it going, buddy? And welcome back to Travis' Sports Show. I'm joined by Brock again. It's been a while, but we're back. Brock, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Travis? Good to be
Pretty,
back.
pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, good to be back. Making these shows again. Love doing them. Look, we had our first preseason game last Thursday. I was in Myrtle Beach on vacation. Gonna make a video. I'm back now. The Birds, Nick Sirianni's first ever head coach job as an Eagle. Eagles head coach. Jalen Hurts is obviously first job taking first team snaps in a preseason game as a Birds quarterback. Everything fun to watch, right? We'll go off first impressions. Go mine first. Thought it was pretty solid, especially for first team. For second team, Sirianni looked like he was good job out there. They had the team ready. They were all set every play, no real penalties. Looked pretty crisp out there, in my opinion. I mean, Hurts was 3 of 7, but a couple drops on the first drive there by Ertz and Rager, but he's pretty accurate with the ball, making decisions. So they use offensive rhythm. The line played pretty well. Had 4 to 5 stars out there, which is great to see. Quez Watkins, awesome job on the screen pass there, taking from Flacco. And then, yeah, I mean, Jake Elliott we'll get to in a second. We made all the field goals, everything. So, most part, first second team was great. Obviously, third team fell down, but so overall impressions there. Solid job in the first game. Brock?
Yeah, absolutely, Trav. I mean, you definitely saw it from the start that Sirianni is bringing a new revamped offense. I mean, we knew earlier before the game that it was going to be kind of vanilla. You weren't going to really see a ton. And from the beginning, we saw a lot of three wide receiver sets, kind of spread out the ball. I saw Zach Ertz even line up in the slot once. So, but we also saw Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert on the field at the same time. So, two tight end
Yeah.
sets. But for offense overall, I think they did really good. You know, the missed throw with Quez from Hurts, you know, that's timing, that's chemistry. You're gonna get there. That'll be fixed by week 1. Couple drops there we saw, but overall the offense I thought was moving solid. The drops kind of stalled the drive, but I thought they had a really good showing. First team defense really stopped a pretty young slash potentially good Steelers offense. You know, we saw Najee Harris get the ball. We saw a lot of checkdowns. They forced checkdowns and made some good tackles. So first team offense was solid. Defense was pretty solid too. As you said, we'll get into Jake Elliott. But for the second string offense, I mean, we saw Quez's big play. It looked like Joe Flacco was pretty comfortable playing with the second teamers. I mean, we saw Kenny Gainwell catch a couple passes out of the backfield. Boston Scott get some carries. Miles Sanders is missing. I expect to see him Thursday night for a couple series. But besides that, the third team offense, obviously, we saw some struggles. Offensive line couldn't protect all that well. Nick Mullins struggled tremendously, forced some throws, had some bad reads. But overall, I think the offense, for what the meaningful snaps were, the first and second string, they went really well.
Yeah, totally with you about everything you said there. We'll get to kind of more detail here about Jalen Hurts. I think obviously coming in, first couple of practices, first couple weeks of training camp, all you hear is reporters, the offense not moving the ball, not doing too well in training camp, kind of mixed stats, some Hurts in the offense in training camp practices. But once you get on the field against another team in a live game, stuff can change. And I thought Hurts really did a good job in his first preseason action. Looked good out there. They made some good reads, accurate. Third Goddard was a very good, accurate pass there. And third down drop by Ertz, a really good ball on third down there. Obviously, like I said, they missed Quez, just a little off there. You correct that in practice, everything. But that for the most part, in his first action there, pretty darn good.
Yeah, I agree. I think he adapted really well inside the pocket. I mean, the first pass of the game, we saw him roll to the right a little bit and hit Ertz on a little curl route right there in the middle for about, I think it was like 6 yards or so. Like, that's what you want to see. You want to see him, I mean, the first real game action, feel the pocket out. What we didn't see a lot from him, which is probably part of what Nick and Shane told him. Don't run a lot. We saw him run once. We saw him dive. He obviously is not going to just give his body up there in the first preseason game. So I think as long as we can keep it really honestly vanilla, like practice
Yeah.
your plays. Don't let, obviously there's a part of hidden in it too. You don't want other teams scouting it already, but you don't want people taking unnecessary hits, unnecessary shots there. Just keep it vanilla. Practice your normal stuff. And when preseason comes, just run the plays that you're comfortable with, the easy ones, the easy decisions. And I think they'll be okay.
Yep, definitely. Get to the defense here. We can mention first team defense only played, I think, one full series like Brock, full first team. Then a couple guys played a little more after
Yep.
that. A single team played a little more because he's been hurt. But they only played one series. I think they're pretty good, I believe. They all look pretty good out there. Saw Slay, Nelson out there. All the D linemen look pretty good. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
much else to say.
No, like you said, I mean, the first team only played one series together, but you saw a lot. We I don't want to go off of too much off of that game, especially defense, because we saw Jonathan Gannon go 4-man front the whole entire game. He came out and flat said, do not take notes on this defense for the
Yeah,
preseason because they will not show anything.
yeah, he didn't show
And
it.
frankly, we did not see anything but one thing, and it was a 4-man front with 3 linebackers. With that 4-man front, though, the first team, they got pressure. We saw Fletcher push the pocket back. We saw Derek Barnett get in there, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave stiff arm the right or the left guard of the Steelers. And then even with the second team, we saw Milton Williams use a good move, Teron Jackson. The third team, they couldn't, frankly, they couldn't stop anything. They couldn't stop the run. They weren't getting pressure. I mean, there were some drives in there where they were clearly tired.
Yeah,
Linebacking wise, Sean Bradley had a hell of a game. He played really good. We saw him really attack the football. I really wish Davion Taylor was healthy because I would like to see him play a little bit. But the secondary, as you said, Steven Nelson and Darius Slade, they really played good against the first team receivers. Zach McPherson played really good. He got torched on the one play, came back with a good pass deflection on the next. And we saw him. I think that was one of my biggest keys. I told you earlier, Trav, too. McPherson versus the first team receivers for the Steelers because they had 3 first teamers out there: James Washington, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Chase Claypool. I wanted to see our rookie corner, who might possibly set up to be a starter late in the year if there's injury. You never know. Go against first teamers. And for the most part, yeah, that one catch, but he played really decent and made some good tackles underneath. So defensively, first team, very pleased with for the first showing.
yeah, yep, with you there. And, I heard guys mention that kind of analysts say they thought this guy was really good tackling job at Eagles after not tackling at all before the game. Tackled really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too many missed tackles, really broke down. We didn't see a lot of breakaways from like broken tackles or anything. We did see a couple on the third team where
Yeah.
would have been a stop on third, he broke it, but you're going to get that. I mean, these guys aren't tackling all the time practice. Half the time we don't see them in full pads. You're not going to try to tackle your teammate hard. So, for the first showing, I expect to see a little more intensity, more pressure, sort of say, in Thursday night against the Patriots because they do have one preseason game under their belt. And again, they're not tackling their teammates. So we'll see that, I think, a little more.
Yep. Now we get the Jake Ellie here. I mentioned before. Guy last year kind of struggled a little bit. His worst year as a pro. This year, I mean, this first preseason game comes back, makes 2 47-yard kicks and a 50-yard kick, which is amazing. Good to see, obviously. Kind of struggles with the short kicks kind of more than the longer ones, but we'll see if he does kind of shorter ones going forward and stuff, extra point stuff. But hey, making 2 47 yards, 50-yarder in game one is awesome to see. I mean,
Yeah, that's really encouraging for him and his fan base. Like you said, we've seen some short kicks miss from him, and we've seen the ones that are longer. You're kind of on the edge, but I forget what game it was last year, but we drove all the way down the field, and he missed the field goal right before halftime. Like, those are the ones that you got to be almost automatic on. We can deal with a 47-yarder
yeah,
here missed, a
yeah, just
52 missed. But I think that was very encouraging for Jake. Watching his interview after the game too, he seemed comfortable. He
yeah,
wasn't on edge. He seemed confident, and that's all you can ask from him. A new holder, the punter Aaron Siptos. I thought he played pretty good. I mean, we only saw, I
yeah,
think, 3 or 4 punts from him that were in a game like situation without like the third team. And, I think he averaged 52 yards a punt. Like, can't ask for much more than that.
yeah. Agree. One thing I want to mention, you gotta mention about special teams more the Jalen Rager. Obviously, last year we saw him return to punt against the what was that game?
Packers.
Packers. That's right. He's good back there, but I mean, I don't know if you saw those 2 balls he drop. inside 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was questionable. I don't know if that was the game plan. I saw what he did. You're trying to fake him out. You're trying to
Yeah,
act like the fair catch, let it go. In those positions, I rather just fair catch it
yeah,
there. You know, I I'm almost positive there's definitely 75% of that is his thoughts, knowing, hey, you know what, it's the first preseason game, haven't practiced a ton.
yeah.
You're having
Learning
guys
lesson.
that you're having guys that are fighting for jobs on the other team, sprinting down the field. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure they had a talk with him after, hey, in a game like situation like that, just fair catch it.
yeah,
I know he wants to go for the home run. So in that situation, it's a preseason game. Didn't really matter. But game like, I want you to catch that. Don't take the
yeah.
hit in the preseason. But yeah, hopefully that is understood and
Yeah.
that wasn't just him making the decision.
I'm with you. Like I want to see him back there because we saw Greg Ward last year. He let a lot of balls drop and never knew where to
Yeah.
catch them and stuff. So, but I guess final thoughts about the game. We'll talk about Sirianni again. His coaching debut. He said thought he had the team well prepared for having. They said a lot of short practices, kind of in a while for the Eagles in training camp, and they were pretty crisp, pretty clean out there. At least the first team, second team. I thought he did a good job. Looked pretty good out there.
Yeah.
Had a team prepared and looked good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for his coaching debut, it was vanilla. And they told us you can't read much into it. It was vanilla, a lot of easy passes for Jalen, get comfortable. Um, Before our show, I told you, Trav, I think this week will be a little more intensified. So I'm really looking forward to this week. But off of the
Yep.
first week, very happy with the first teams on both
Yeah.
sides of the ball.
Oh yeah. Now let's get into this week. Eagles Patriots Thursday night again, 7:30 at the Link. Should be a good one. Yeah, joint practices today and tomorrow. Patriots North Carolina Complex. Awesome. Sirianni saw a lot of people. Somebody asked him that a lot of young coaches don't really want to do joint practices first year. Want to implement a new system, everything. But Sirianni says, it's big word competition, so he loves it, brings it in, and it's good to see. And we'll get into the first practice today. We know down offense, defense, Eagles, great day. Eagles really won today's practice. What I'm hearing about beat reporters. Jalen Hurts had a good day, best quarterback on the field. We saw the stats being Brock saw on Twitter from Short Park, 16 of 17, 11 of 11 is a touchdown. Really only had a couple picks that were tipped and 7-7s. It's one drop and 11-11. So it was a drop too as well. It's good to see. I mean, good to see as it hurts. Obviously, struggle a little bit moving the ball against their own defense, but it's probably good for our defense, man. Right? So moving the ball good against Patriots defense, and our defense playing well. It's good to see. Rager made some nice plays. Quez Watkins again, the tight ends and everything. So good to see there.
Yeah, a little more there. Like you said, the offense was very efficient today. You said Jalen's stats. We looked at them before. Honestly, I think we were both a little surprised seeing the stats for the first time. I saw on 7-on-7 the two picks. One was or both of them were dropped. One by Gainwell, one by Zach Ertz. They did say the one to Ertz was a little too high. Gotta sure up those ones. I mean, drops are gonna happen. It sucks, but it's part of the game. As far as offense, we saw Isaac Seumalo was back today. So I believe the whole first team offensive line was together, starting from the left, Jordan Mailata, Isaac Seumalo, Jason Kelsey, Brandon Brooks, and Lane Johnson. So that's encouraging to see. I saw a couple videos, like you said, from beat reporters, beat writers. Miles Sanders made a good catch one-on-one with the linebackers. Saw Quez Watkins. I don't know if you guys caught the video yet, but he gave a little hesitation to J.C. Jackson and beat him to the corner, threw up the touchdown after. That's so encouraging to see. Like this kid, we got him last year. It was him and John Hightower, part of the track team, so to say. I mean, I think he's got a tremendous impact. If he keeps this up, this team is going to be dangerous in the wide receiver position.
Sure.
It's nice to see him. Jalen Rager starting to feel more comfortable. I think Nick Sirianni, Aaron Moorhead, Shane Steichen, they're all going to really utilize these receivers to their own. They're not just going to give them the playbook and say, hey, you're going to play Z, you're going to play X. They're going to be like, all right, Jalen Rager plays this position really low. Let's throw him in there in this play.
Yeah.
Use their strengths. I think that's something with the offensive minded last year we struggled with. This year, it really looks good. Offensively, though, seeing that we really a Patriots defense that's pretty solid. You're talking about Kyle
Yeah,
Van Noy in the middle. Dante Hightower wasn't there, but J.C. Jackson, one of the top corners in the league. Um, I think that's really encouraging. I know today was a very big day. Writers were talking about, all right, how's Jalen Hurts going to show up against a pretty decent defense? So that's got to be encouraging. Defensively, as you said it, Trav, you hit it right on the point. The defense was great. Everybody, you looked at Patriots beat reporters. Eagles won the game. Eagles won it today. The defense stifled Cam Newton. I saw 9 of 17 and 1 interception. That's great. I saw a couple tweets where Fletcher Cox, Josh Sweat would have had 2 sacks on Cam Newton. You're talking about a running quarterback too. Like that's solid to see. And
definitely.
I think overall that's really encouraging. Tomorrow will tell a lot too, obviously, but I think that's really encouraging for the Eagles.
Yeah, very, very encouraging. Encouraging. Devontae Smith back in practice today. Still limited, but had pads on and everything, which is very encouraging. Hopefully, he'll be back soon to being a full participant. But yeah, and like you said about the receivers, Rager, Watkins, all these guys, Smith, like you said, about how utilize their strengths and everything. I think Sirianni will definitely actually do that. He says it all the time, but I think he's actually going to like follow through. Not like you said, years past, if Doug and other coaching staff, these guys will follow through and really utilize their strength to the best of their ability and put the best guys out there on the field and utilize them in the right spots, which is crucial.
Yeah.
Then another thing I want to talk about is Mailata Dillard thing now. Dillard obviously week to week now, the injury. They still won't announce Mailata as a starter. I was watching Mailata today actually on his press conference after practice. He's talking about how it was kind of really weird for him after the game or during the game on Thursday where he played the whole first team, the 10 snaps, came out of the game. He's like used to playing the whole time and everything. And he said at halftime, they told him to take off his pads. He was like, "What? Really?" He's like, but yeah, I mean, my lot is probably the starter. On the radio, I heard him saying that how he doesn't really want to admit that like Dillard kind of failed
Yeah.
guy there
Yeah. I mean,
sooner or later.
from the front office, it's going to be hard to admit another first round pick really didn't pan out. Obviously, it was a risk. We saw Andre Dillard coming out of Washington State, big passing team out there, good pass blocker, not very good run blocker. We saw him get put in some hard situations his rookie year. We saw him play right guard, didn't work out. That's a hard switch, left tackle to right guard. Bicep injury last year, but I'm going with Jordan Mailata. He's our
Yeah,
week 1 left tackle. This guy, it's crazy to hear his story. Picked up a football 3 years ago, but he is a man, guys. 6'8", 350, I think he is.
freaking nature,
Like
man.
that's crazy. That is somebody that you don't want to go against. And he showed up. He had a really good pass blocking grade against the Steelers, and Steelers have good DNs. They do. I hope he gets a little more playing time this week
Yeah,
too against the Patriots. That'll be big for him. But yeah, unfortunately, Dillard got hurt. But even before the injury, Mailata had the edge on him, and
yeah. I
unfortunately
was
for Dillard, the injury widened that gap.
yeah, I was gonna mention that before he got hurt. I was seeing on Twitter, oh, Dillard gets pummeled by so and so, sacked by given up by Dillard, this that. So was not having a great camp before the injury, and it kind of icing on a cake there, probably for him.
Yep.
But it's about all I got. Anything else, Brock, before we wrap it up?
Nope. Just definitely be looking out for Thursday night. I told Trav before the show, I think that Thursday you'll definitely see starters play a little bit more. I believe so. I think,
Yeah,
traditionally you see in other seasons with the 4 preseason game, third game is big, which this is kind of playing as our third game, basically. I think this starters, I don't expect them to see the whole first quarter. I think you'll definitely see more than 2 series with all of them together. You're looking at, technically that could be the first quarter too, depending on all time of possession and all that. Just expect them to see them out there more together. And then next week they're probably not going to play at all. but expect to see a little more energy. You know, they got the first one under the belt. They had 2 joint practices, obviously today and tomorrow. So I'd definitely be looking out. I think this game will tell a little bit more. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. Like I said, I'd be playing a little more offensive defense guys, first teamers. I'm excited to watch more football, baby. I mean, preseason or not, I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to watch the game last week and now another one this week. And we're now 4 weeks from yesterday away from week 1, Eagles Falcons. I'm pumped up. And that's about all I got today. We'll be back after the game Thursday, recapping probably Friday or so, whenever we can get a chance. And until then, I'm Travis. He's Brock. We're heading out of here. Let's go Birds, baby.
Go Birds.